Only a 12th level intellect has the slightest hope of surviving what you are about to experience.
We were talking with Eric Labau, the big Labau, Eric Lebau. I don't know. I'm sorry, dude. A few days ago, we've been getting a handful of like people wanting to interview us. Like they want advice from us about how to be successful YouTubers and stuff. Like it's cool, but slow it down. Like
let me know once you figured it out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is not. I mean, cool. We're flattered every time, but like it's been several within the last few weeks.
I didn't get to talk to him though.
No,
you
did not. Yep.
No.
That was fun though. It's kind of it's nice to feel like we're important for a second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, yeah. But yeah, he asked us. He asked us what advice to give him on podcasting and on just being like an internet entertainer, and we were like, oh, always be prepared for what's coming up next. You got to know what you're doing, what the next video is, and what. But really, like Ted and I just figured out that we're gonna do another set of Batman episode reviews like an hour ago. So it's
we're always like, what do you want to talk about tonight on the podcast? I don't know, Pinky. What do you want to talk about tonight on the podcast?
Yeah,
same thing we do every night.
Every night. Yeah.
Just try to take over the world.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is about. This is here are the 12th level intellects, which is. You had a really good one months ago, bi-weekly geek entertainment podcast. The bi-weekly by geekly, but we're heterosexuals, I think.
Bisexual geekly podcast.
Don't get confused. I'm James and that's Ted, and we're going to talk about Batman today. But first, the news. I watched an Elseworlds trailer. There was like a reel for realsies trailer.
Oh, I didn't see that. Was it good?
Yeah, it's got I can't tell who the bad guy is, because at first I thought maybe it was like a Mr. Mxyzptlk kind of guy, because it's like,
What's he look like?
You're messing with reality. Stop it. All the realities are combining for some reason. But he's already been on Supergirl and he doesn't look like that, so I don't know who that guy is.
Some sort of other imp type?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out.
Is he small and sneaky? I'm gonna have to watch the trailer.
Is he like a bat? Like a Batmite is the joke I was trying to make.
He is though. He's a bit,
I don't know. He has like long, silvery blonde hair, and he's like weird looking. I don't know.
Huh.
But yeah, it shows Flash and Arrow who have the like swapped secret identities.
According to the Entertainment Weekly, his name is John Deegan, and he's an inmate at Arkham Asylum, and he's in his cell rewriting reality.
Okay,
that's all I got.
They don't show any Arkham in the trailer, but that was in like a little synopsis that was released that they'll end up at Arkham Asylum during it, because there's Batwoman and all this stuff. So, and they mention like, no, Batman's just a legend. Like, he doesn't really exist. And then Batwoman swoops down, and they're like, oh, my God. I'm just like, oh, nope, it's Batwoman. It's not who you thought it was.
Close, though. Close.
But, yeah, it looks pretty cool. There's a moment where, what was I thinking about? It has Flash, like 90s Flash in it. That was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And
John Wesley Shipp.
Yeah. And they God, what was the cool thing that I was going to mention?
They show the monitor? Is the monitor there?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, he's in the trailer. You see him for like 2 seconds.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's
Always
still
like
very
the
like
monitor.
TV budget looking monitor. Like, if it was in the movie, it'd probably be way more impressive looking. But he's
So like
still
the
cool.
Crisis on Finite Budget Earths.
Yeah, the Crisis
Okay.
on Finite Earths, maybe like 2 or 3. Well, you can't really go past that. Yeah, it looks fun. I have not been we've mentioned this before, but I have not been keeping up with any of those shows this season. And it's alright.
I've watched a little bit. My roommate's really into it, and so I've watched 2 episodes of Arrow, 1 episode of Flash. I saw a random episode of Legends of Tomorrow the other day, and it looks awful.
Yeah,
but
it's
at the
not-
same time,
I don't know.
it's not. I don't know if it's for me.
Yeah,
It's not.
It's a very like
Constantine
Doctor
looks
Who-y kind of show. Like I don't know. I've never
is
been
cool.
into that either, though. Sorry, we just lost
I think
like
Doctor
20
Who's
people.
probably better. I'm just going
Maybe,
to redeem
yeah.
us there. Doctor Who's a lot better. Legends is just cheese.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, like
cheese, and it's like, well, that's cool. It's the Atom.
there
and
were trailers
Commander
for the new
Steel,
seasons. Yeah, there were
Vixen.
trailers for the new seasons of all of them, and the Supergirl, Arrow, and Flash trailers all were like, dun dun dun, a horrible thing. Oh my God, how will we ever get past the horrible thing? Arrow,
and
Tuesday
Legends is
nights.
like, we're all
yeah,
just happy
well, we're in
flying
the
around
'70s.
and-
How did we get here, Barack Obama? And all this. So just
We
like,
inspired
okay,
George Lucas to make Star Wars.
yeah, they sure did. What's your news? I'm tired of talking
Blue
about
Beetle. The Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle is supposed to be getting his own movie
Ooh.
from Warner Brothers. Yeah.
Why
but
that
it's
one?
one of those things. It's one of those things where they just announce
Yeah.
that they're going to do it.
and they're
And
probably
there's
not.
no
Yeah.
context or anything. And then like 2 years later from now, we'll learn like, oh, actually it's been shelved.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? I'm just predicting
they just
it.
throw stuff
Yeah.
out, and then they see what people's reactions are, and then they don't do the stuff people don't want.
I went to my comic shop yesterday to pick up my weekly books, and I was noticing that they had this like buy two collections of old series and get one free. So I was asking, I was like, hey, like, would you buy some like old collections of stuff from me? And one of the things I said was like, I have the like first 25 issues of the original Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle series, and they just like. Basically, the shop I went over was just like, no. And then the assistant was like, well, hold on now. I might be interested. And then I name dropped another series. It was Greg Ruckus Checkmate, and they were like, hell no. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah,
But
I don't want your stupid comics.
yeah.
Like, why? Okay.
So we'll see.
yeah.
Maybe I'll be able to.
I
It's a good series, though. I like Jaime Reyes. Blue
I
Beetle.
was when I went to Eugene, which is 3 hours away from me recently, and I bussed back. And while I was waiting for the bus, I went to the comic shop that I used to go to because I used to live there up until like April or so of this year. And I was like, oh, it'll be cool. I'll go in there. I'll see all the comic shop guys that I know. You know, they'll remember me. Of course, they didn't. And then, but I think maybe one of them kind of like did like a hey man kind of nod at me. But
Haven't seen you in years.
yeah, months at least.
Look
yeah.
what the cat dragged in. Who had to move back
Get
to
out!
Eugene for
We
a
thought we
minute.
got rid of you, but I was walking around and there was a guy in there that was like, so the owner of the shop is this like 60-year-old man maybe, and he's very quiet. And whenever you buy stuff and he's the one to take your money, he's just very like, oh, all right, have a nice day. Like he just doesn't, he barely interacts with you at all. And there was a guy in there that was trying to sell him vinyl records, and they don't sell records at the store. So he kept just being like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. We don't have those. We won't take those. And he's like, well, do you know any place around here that'll do it? I've got the entire collection of 1965s, you know, this blah, 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 blah. And the guy's just, oh, I'm sorry, sir. Like I was just standing there like,
not here.
go away. He's not going to take these. Do you
Go
see
to
the
a record
comic store? Yeah.
Although here in Asheville, I've got two. Like I'm spoiled with how many comic shops we have here in the Asheville area, but at least two of them double as record stores.
Yeah, I mean
as well.
the
So it
video
is a
rental
thing.
store that's still alive here is considering doing that too, just to kind of maintain a more hipstery like.
That's
get
one of the
people
ones we
in.
got here in
Yeah.
Asheville.
Yep.
Orbit DVD. They do comics. They do records. They do video rental. Yeah, all of it.
Okay,
Shout out to Orbit.
my other piece of news is slightly somber, but I don't know. We've seen already that Iron Fist and Luke Cage have been canceled, quote unquote. And the like rumor brewing was that they're just going to do Heroes for Hire. They're just going to combine the two shows. But now Daredevil has also been canceled.
No,
as of
I didn't
like
know
3
that.
hours
You lie.
ago. Yeah,
You
nope,
lie.
it just happened today.
You lie.
Nope.
All right. I refuse to believe you, and I will not comment on this any further.
Okay, well you can sit there and I'll talk about. I think it's probably
It's
just
not my reality.
yeah, it's
This is the Elseworlds. This is Elseworlds.
It's yeah. Stop messing with time, man. I think it's probably just gonna be like, oh, the Disney streaming service will have all of them or something like that, or maybe Marvel will come out with the Marvel Universe streaming service.
Not yet.
Probably
No.
not, because there's not enough of that kind of stuff to fill a whole new thing. But it could probably go on the Disney one. And like now, I'm just waiting for Jessica Jones to get canceled. That'll be
Yeah.
like the seal the deal. But it is weird, like. It made more sense to me to cancel the ones that seemed like they weren't doing as hot, and then also like it made me think the same thing with Legends of Tomorrow, like that just keeps going, but Daredevil's canceled. What is this world?
I would, as much as I would love more Daredevil because I thought season 3 was incredible. I also felt like it had a satisfying ending.
I have not watched it yet, so
I don't need a season 4, but I want a season 4.
Yeah.
So
I started the first episode of Luke Cage season 2 because I can't help but try to watch everything in like release order. But I don't know. I think I'm just gonna skip to Daredevil
I don't
and
think
just
you need Luke Cage
read
season
about
2
Luke
for
Cage
it.
or something. Yeah. But
Well.
yeah.
I got another piece of news.
Oh, good.
Young Justice Outsiders released a trailer.
Yes,
It's
was
coming out on the DC Universe app on July 4th.
I thought it was
So
January.
that's pretty cool. That's what I meant, January
Yeah.
4th. That is the truth.
Yeah, I was like, oh, what? That's so far
It was
away.
pushed back.
Yeah.
No, it's coming very soon.
It'll be December 2020. Yeah.
Did you see this new trailer? Mm-hmm. Did you like it? Because I watched it without sound
Oh, why?
because I didn't get around to rewatching it later.
Yeah, I guess
That was my fault. I shouldn't have done that. I should have watched it before talking about it.
Well, I mean, maybe you would enjoy it more without sound because it's still one of those trailers that's like, oh, we haven't quite finished all the sound effects yet, so there's just a bunch of like,
Oh, you think so?
kind of like really
Really?
bad sound effects. I don't know. That's what it felt like to me.
Okay. Well,
But
I wouldn't know. I thought the animation looked great.
videos,
It looked cool.
It
I
did
didn't hear
look
anything.
cool, yeah. Someone pointed out, like, was asking us on our Facebook page, whether or not it was in continuity with the New 52 movies.
it
I
can
do
be.
not believe so, and I don't
No.
think there's really any way to make that work. But they were wondering that because there's another like time jump, maybe not as big as between season 1 and 2, but Batman and Wonder Woman, like the main Justice League people, look like they do in the New 52 stuff, which I think is probably just more of a tribute, like a little.
We've got Tim Drake as Robin
Yeah.
and Damian Wayne as Robin in the other one, and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
Titans existing in the other universe. The
We
way
should
they
do
did.
Will It Canon episodes for non-DCAU. So, like, will this thing canon into the... Will Scooby-Doo
Since-
canon into, I don't know, Trailer Park
It'll
Boys?
canon into Brave and the Bold Batman.
I think Scooby-Doo Trailer
Supernatural.
Park Boys crossover would be pretty good.
Yeah. It should be called Trailer Park Booze
Nah.
because boo
Scary
like Scooby-
Ghosts?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's my pitch.
No, I'm sold now. Yeah, you've convinced me.
Ricky
well-
and Julian and Bubbles and the whole gang. Great.
Oh, come on, let's split up, you guys. That'd make me pretty good, actually.
Bubbles has like 3 cats.
Yeah.
With his cats and Scooby-Doo have to do
I want this to happen.
something. Me too.
It's too bad the guy that died recently, the police chief guy. I can't remember his name.
Stanley.
No. The guy in Trailer Park Boys, the policeman.
Oh, Mr. Leahy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He's,
rest in
he's
peace.
no longer here. Mr. Stan Leahy. All right. Today's topic is more Batman episodes. We made it through the first 50 before, which was up through Off Balance. And what we did last time was we just kind of went through them all and just...
Well, it
went-
wasn't last time. It was 2 episodes ago.
Okay, the last time we did this was
Okay.
we just kind of... I posed the idea of picking one good thing that we liked about it and one thing that we thought could improve, but you were like, no, it's so good. I can't possibly improve anything.
I don't want to be negative. I just want to say things that I noticed. Maybe they were bad. Maybe they were good.
I
but
noticed
I noticed
Batman
them.
wears a Batman costume in this episode.
Did you notice that too?
I did, yeah, and I noticed how
Nice.
it changes like 6 times, but okay. So we're
What
starting
did you
with
notice?
Huh?
So what did you notice in this one?
In the first one, the man who killed Batman. That's what we're starting
It's
with.
not the first one. We're starting at number
The
51.
first new one of this episode, the first one we're talking
We're going to
about.
go through the rest of the original Batman They Made
Yes.
series up until it did the animation switch.
Yes.
for season 4.
And then because then we have an excuse to do that for another episode.
And
because
we
we
will.
can't think of anything to do.
No,
for the
we can't.
We just make this podcast because. Episode 51, The Man Who Killed Batman. It's about Sid the Squid, and he's like, I'll save you, Batman, as you're falling off the roof. And then Batman's like, Harvey, and falls. And then he's like, no, I'm sorry, that doesn't happen. But he falls off a building, and the guy thinks he killed him, and then the Joker gets all mad.
Yeah, they have a whole eulogy, and the villains are all there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is a good episode.
It's a good episode.
That's got the Harley Quinn. What is that called? The kazoo. The kazoo. Yeah. And
funeral march.
It's always actually like I get like anxious watching Sid like fall into the acid, and he's in like a coffin, and the acid's like coming through the coffin, because I'm like, oh shit, like he's actually like in the acid, like it goes beneath the surface of the acid. I figured Batman would like swoop in at the last second and save him before he even did that much.
Does.
Nope. Yeah, Batman, because Batman's dead.
That is what I hear doing acid is like. You just think you're in a coffin, and then the acid comes in and gets you.
That's what everybody says.
That's what they say.
What else can we say about this? I don't know. It's a good one.
Yeah,
I've always thought it was
spoilers. He didn't die.
Oh yeah, you're
Batman's
right.
still alive.
No, yeah, he's in a couple other shows after this, so how could he be?
He never dies in the DCAU. Never. They never got to killing him off.
They tease it several times. Like in the first episode of Justice League. I think maybe that's the second episode. Technically. I've always thought it's weird that his name is Sid the Squid, because that's also a pseudonym that Tony Zuko went by in Robin's Reckoning.
Really?
Yeah, when Robin's at the computer and he's like, oh, Billy Marin, alias Sid the Squid, Killer Coburn, Punky Lesh. But who is he really? And he pressed the button, and there's Tony Zuko. He's word.
Also the nephew of Arnold
Finally. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Do you like my little guy? You got the play-by-play. All right, let's move on to Mudslide. This is Clayface. This is the sequel episode to his original episode. Though there may be that little lost episode from the video game fits between these. We don't really know. He's like not. His body don't work no more, so his lady friends like come sit in my human shaped thing, and then I'll seal you up and you'll be all nice. And then Batman's like, fuck Clayface, and comes in and destroys everything, and Clayface dies, and then the lady cries, and that's the end of the episode. It's a very sad ending.
Yeah.
She's just crying, and the episode stops.
Except Clayface didn't die. He comes back later.
He does, yeah.
Just like Batman did in the last episode.
Because you can't kill what ain't dead.
Human?
I don't know. It's a good.
Could you ever kill Clayface? I wonder what happened to him in Batman Beyond. I guess the last time I ever saw him was in Secret Society.
Yeah, he got blown up by fireworks.
Immortal? Do you think he'd stay like Clay immortal? Maybe he gets to the point where he can't be anything but a sentient puddle.
We should do
mud.
a Clayface
so
Earth Mover crossover team up.
We should. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. I would keep Clayface in a little jar, like how they have Jarro and the Justice League right now.
But it's
Clayface in a little jar. That'd be great.
Each piece of Clayface is an entire species of Clayface.
Put them together and it's like a mega Clayface.
Ultra mega metal Clayface. Okay, episode 53 is Paging the Crime Doctor. This is
it's not the Crime Doctor.
No, it's not. But
from the comic books.
Correct.
Who's an actual villain.
Yeah. Do you think that was in reference to that guy, and you're supposed to think when it's 1993 and you're looking up the new episodes coming out, you're supposed to think it's that. Who's the guy?
It's possible.
Thorne. Who's it?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Rupert Thorne.
Yeah,
Rupert Thorne's
his brother. Yeah. And who was like friends with Batman's dad, I think. And I think this is the first Leslie Tompkins appearance. Like maybe when she learns that he's Batman, because I feel like there's an episode where she's like, "Oh, you're all covered in bruises and stuff. How are you not Batman?" And he's, "Oh, I am."
I think she appears earlier. I could be wrong.
I know she's in I Am the Night, but I can't remember if we
Yeah.
talked about that one already.
I feel like we did. I think that was in the last batch.
Probably.
But I don't know.
We'll find out soon.
Well, she's cool. Leslie Tompkins is cool.
I don't have anything really memorable from this episode. It just kind of
I
happened.
don't either.
Um,
Rupert Thorne's brother. It was Rupert Thorne was back. That's
I think it was just that he doesn't he like need what is he like doesn't want to do a thing for Rupert Thorne, but Rupert Thorne's like, you gotta, or else I'll tell everyone how you fucked up being a doctor one time. I can't remember. I don't know. It's been a while
medical
since
malpractice holding that over his head.
Zatanna is the next episode.
That's
it's
a
about
good one.
Zatanna and
The Teenage Witch.
The Mechanic is the episode after that.
Let's talk Zatanna.
Zatanna's, I guess it's good. The animation in this one's not
good.
super great. There's
No, it's not.
There's like a I took a clip
That
from it
episode's good.
for some recent-ish video where I just have, I think I say like a terrible joke and then I show like a 1-second clip of Bruce Wayne just clapping for my terrible joke, and it's from the opening of the Zatanna episode and they're like seeing her perform. And the animation of everybody clapping is like 3 frames that are just repeated over and over, really stuttery and bad. And I was like, oh man,
That might have been your fault. That was
probably
the way you edited it.
No.
No?
Nothing is ever my fault.
Well, this episode was written by Paul Dini.
Okay,
and
good.
Just putting it out there because he has a soft spot for Zatanna.
Yeah.
He loves writing that character. He did a book. There was a Zatanna Black Canary team up. Mm-hmm. That was really cool.
He also, I think, wrote... No, maybe I'm wrong. I was going to say he wrote This Little Piggy, but I don't think he really did much for JLU.
I think he did, though. I think he did write that one.
Well, there's no way to find out, so I guess we'll just have
it's
to
not like we have the
speculate
internet.
forever.
We'll just say he did, and we'll be right. But
Yeah.
like they even bring up this episode in that episode, This Little
Yeah.
Piggy. That's some like intercontinuity stuff going on there. I liked this too because of the introduction of Zatara.
Yeah.
He was always cool, and he was also like a golden age superhero. Like Zatara was a character in Action Comics
Right.
in the 1940s, and he has like a very long history being a DC character. And Zatanna herself had a really interesting origin too, where she kind of crossed over from a bunch of different books. She was in like Detective Comics and Hawkman, then Green Lantern, and then finally Justice League, where all of her little appearances come together and the heroes she interacted with help her find her father. And then she's invited onto the Justice League. So
Yeah, Zatara is a character in the Batman show that kind of like helps solidify that this universe has like a set timelines, not like years and day kind of thing necessarily, but like he was like Zatara was an adult when Batman was training, and now he's dead. Like he was a thing that happened or whatever. And versus like, I don't know, in Young Justice, he's still around and he barely looks any older than he would.
yeah, he's on the Justice League.
Yeah. Although Zatanna, I guess, in that universe is like a teenager, so
he comes back in the Batman and Robin Adventures Annual.
Yeah, but it's still the same like time period where Bruce is training and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But that's a cool story.
Yeah.
And it crosses over with the Superman Adventures
Yeah.
and Adventures in the DC.
We'll probably do a video on that eventually. We've been meaning to do one on that for a while.
That's
we
a
do
cool
bring it up
crossover.
in the next Sunday video for like 2 seconds, but you'll see that. Okay. Mechanic. This is the first episode, I believe, where we see the original Batman costume, his like non-yellow oval version.
Robin's Reckoning.
Did we already talk about that one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, then,
I think that's the first time you see it.
Yeah, see, I can't remember things that happened before this morning. I have a head injury. Anyway, there's okay.
He's actually a cat.
Yeah.
It's got short-term memory.
The
Mechanic's a penguin episode.
Yeah.
And he like basically blackmails the guy who does all the work on the Batmobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was really cool to meet that character. I think it's the only time we see him.
Yeah.
Earl
We should
Cooper.
bring him back. He correct me if I'm wrong, in Batman Returns, does the Penguin not do this same thing where he takes control of the Batmobile and messes up stuff with it?
I think so.
Because I have like a memory of, because like Batman in that movie, he has like a remote that he can press and like an armor will go over the Batmobile. But I feel like at some point
yeah.
Penguin gets a hold of that and like drives the Batmobile around and breaks things and kills people and stuff. But maybe I'm hallucinating again.
Yeah, that happens.
It was
No,
that happens in
was
this
a cool one.
episode though.
We see the original Batmobile too for a split second. It's like a different than the
Got the little
classic
bat
animated
face
one.
on in the front of it.
Yeah.
like Adam West kind of thing.
Well, not like Adam West, but like even before that.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah, pre society Batmobile.
Yeah.
No, it's cool to see that kind of stuff because like they intentionally put in like Batman used to have a different costume and a different Batmobile and blah blah blah. I have always thought it's weird though that the first Batmobile looks so different from the one we see throughout the series, and yet in Phantasm he's like looking at that sports car that looks a lot like the normal Batmobile that we see all the time, and is like, oh whoa, just thinking about the future or whatever, like but then I won't get that car. Then I'll get it later. I don't know, but it's still kind of cool to see that stuff.
Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah, Harley and Ivy.
Nice.
The first meeting of the characters,
And now they're huge. Now you can't really have Harley without Ivy.
Yeah.
Kind of go hand in hand. I mean, you can have them separate.
yeah,
but
since
you know what I mean.
January 18th 1993 the idea was born.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree with this synopsis. The Joker has a fit when he hears of their Thelma and Louise style crime spree. Like, that's a pretty good description.
It was very intentional.
Yeah. Poison Ivy has a car. That's always been kind of weird to me. Like,
Flash has a car.
okay, but he needs it for all that sweet lovemaking he does that's implied.
Poison Ivy doesn't have to go get groceries every now and then. Like, what are you trying to say?
It's not a like carpeted van, It's not got
Yeah,
TVs.
it's
in
the
it.
1993. They don't have Uber.
Yeah, they need the Rosebud car to come. Okay, whatever. It's a
They should
good
have gone to see Earl Cooper from the last episode.
right. This is probably another Paul Dini written episode, I would guess, because
How
it's
much you
a
wanna bet?
Harley centric. How much do I want to bet? I will bet you. Don't tell me yet. I will
Okay.
bet you. This note card with Jessica's brother's name on it that I drew for Secret Santa.
That it is or isn't.
That it is.
Okay, I will take that bet, but I'm not going to give Matt his present for Secret Santa. So
maybe he listens to this, which he definitely
well,
doesn't.
you just spoiled it,
I said,
and I guess you win because he did write. Paul wrote the episode.
yes,
so.
I get to keep this note card.
No, I have to take it now, but I'm not going to give Matt his present.
Wait, what? I bet that it was. And it was.
So do you keep it or do you
Yeah,
give
I
it to
don't
me?
do anything.
Okay, then fine.
The game is over. Shadow of
Okay.
the Bat, Part 1. This is apparently the second season premiere of Batman, even though it's the 57th episode. So it means that there were so many episodes of season 1, quote unquote. This show didn't really deal in seasons very much. It just kind of existed forever.
There was a what looks like the last episode premiered in January. This one premieres in September of the same year. So they did have a
break.
8-month gap.
Yeah. Although the one after
Reruns.
that aired in February, and then there's one below that
Oh.
aired in May. So I don't know.
Details.
Whatever. Yeah, this is Batgirl.
Okay, yeah, there was
Becoming
no break.
Batgirl episode. This is one of those that happens at the same time as Make 'em Laugh and Riddler's Reform, as Maddie
yeah.
has discussed on the Vanishing Pyont. I think that was like the second episode. of that
Batman's
that we
big
did.
week.
Yeah. It's a good one. I've
It's a
been
great
meaning
one.
to clamor those together, slap them into like a movie, but I'm not gonna do that.
Don't slap him.
Yeah. Commissioner
This
Gordon.
is Batgirl.
Yeah.
Batgirl's first episode.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
said that.
Well, we've seen Barbara Gordon in the past, but it's the first one where she actually becomes Batgirl. Yeah.
Right. She debuts in the Hardak episode, I think, and I just recently watched that Heart of Steel, and I've never noticed how like it's kind of creepy when she first enters the room because Bruce Wayne is like, "Oh,
He's like,
Barbara,
hubba, hubba."
you're back from college. How you've grown and all this stuff." And she's like, what, 18, 19, and he's
Well, you have
don't
to
know, 30
subtract.
something.
What is it? You divide your age by half and add 7, and that's the youngest.
Right. That's the How I Met Your Mother math. I
Yeah,
think.
which is valid. I don't know how old is Bruce Wayne at this time.
Oh,
Are we doing this? We don't have to do this. Okay. The
I want
answer
to know
though
now,
is
though. This is
is
people
definitely
care.
higher than 1819.
Batman age. How old is Batman? Watchtower Database. Wow, what a video that we created.
If he's
Let's
26,
see here.
it's okay. But he's not 26.
No, he's. Let's see.
He's probably in his early 30s.
He's 30. He's like 33.
Okay. Well, technically,
yeah.
it's illegal.
1992.
illegal.
He's 28
But it's his
to
best
31.
friend's daughter. That should be where it
Yeah.
stops. It's his best friend's daughter.
He's like maximum 33 in that episode. So, what?
Just like a 12-year
math.
difference. 13, 14,
16
14
and a
years.
half.
15, 16, 17 years. 17-year
23.
difference.
Yeah, I don't
No.
think it works.
I mean-
I think she's too
It's
young
legal.
still.
But that's, that doesn't mean
But
that's right.
that Bruce Timm, he's gotta be a weird, creepy guy, don't you know? Blind as a bat. I don't remember this at all. What is
That
this?
was Batman Goes Blind. The
Batman-
Penguin had a thing. It's like
Oh yeah, he's got
yeah,
like
then
a
Batman's got to
helicopter.
install that special radar in his cowl that makes his eyes go red, so that he can like see
Yeah,
using
'cause he can't
echolocation, like a
Why can't he see?
like a dolphin.
How does he become
No,
blind?
like a-
I can't remember. I don't know what the joke was you said. 'cause
He
I was
uses
too busy talking.
echolocation like a.
Sea Weevil,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
That's why he's Sea Weevil, man.
Yeah. Penguin, yeah, he's got a helicopter. He shoots Batman in the face, and he's like, ah. And then he goes, The Demon's Quest, part 1.
This is a good one. Racial Ghoul.
Yeah. Robin gets
It
kidnapped.
was written
and
by
is,
Dini O'Neill, who had created Racial Ghoul. Basically
Yeah,
adapted his own
yeah.
comic into this episode.
Yeah, it's cool when they got people to do that. Like, oh, hey, you wrote this thing. We're making an episode sort of like that. Come write it. I also think it's sort of weird when they do that because it's like, but I already made this. Like, what else? What do you want me to do? And then
Not
then
necessarily.
when they adapt it, they don't necessarily, unless they've been watching the show, maybe they don't know
He's been
like
watching the show.
how these versions of the characters act and stuff. Yeah, probably. I
They
don't
were
know.
passing the whole animated series around the Bat Office, like.
Maddie and I tried to ask Neil Adams at ECCC last year what.
Well, did
or
you buy
this
one of his $100
past year.
prints? Then he wasn't going to
No.
talk to you.
No, he was though. They were handing out little things that were like, "Oh, just go talk to him because no one's talking to him." And I was like, "What? This is fucking Neil Adams. So how's no one talking to him?" And I went up. I didn't know what to ask him, so I just asked him like, "Oh, what did you think of the interpretation of Ra's al Ghul and Batman the animated? Or maybe it's
In the future,
racial,
you have to
I
go
don't
up to
know."
him
And then he got really
yeah.
mad.
Well, yeah.
He's like, it's not
Raz.
race. Why? There's no other way to say it. Yeah, he was. I'm sure we've talked about
Yeah,
this before.
we should have gone up
but
to him and been like,
yeah,
hello,
he's,
thank you for creating my childhood. You were amazing. Why is there a yellow bat suit and star-crossed, you madman? He wouldn't have known the answer.
I should have asked him that.
he had nothing
He
to do
would
with
have,
it.
yeah. No, he would. What if he doesn't? He knows the answer. Yeah, it's a good episode because they fight. I mean, it's. I don't know. This isn't the one where they
Nope,
fight.
that's part
shirtless,
2.
is it?
But,
Or
I
is
mean,
it-
we could talk about them together.
or are you sure it's this one though, or is
Yeah.
it?
This one
one or the
ends,
other.
so this
Oh,
one's
no, it
Robin's
is, yeah.
kidnapped. Raz, whatever, breaks into the Batcave. And so Bruce is like, "Who are you? How'd you get in here?" And Raish is like, my daughter was kidnapped. Your basically son was
Yeah.
whatever little boy toy was kidnapped."
But the twist was that he kidnapped
course,
them.
yeah.
He makes Batman fly across the fucking world to
Get Robin.
find that out.
Yeah. And then he's like, "Actually, I just called you here so that you could marry my daughter, and y'all could make super smart genius babies that'll take over the world one day."
Yeah. And then he's like,
Yep.
no.
And then Raish has a heart attack and he's
like-
lowered into the Lazarus pit, and the episode ends with him coming out of the pit laughing maniacally.
He's all mad. He's gonna throw Talia in the bubbles. She's like, no, I don't want a bath. I'm fine. I'm clean.
But she gets a bath.
And he's ha ha ha. He voiced the same guy that voiced David Warner, I think's his name. He voices Raz Al Ghul. He also voices a freakazoid villain who's like a giant brain head. I can't remember his name, but he wears like a scientist robe and his head is just a big brain. And I can never take Ra's al Ghul seriously now watching Batman because I just see that guy. Like, why would you get him to also voice that guy? I don't know. Yeah, his Silicon Soul. This is the
Hardak
sequel.
He makes the duplicate Batman,
Turns
right?
out they made a Batman one, yeah, and then but he like didn't come out in the last time or something. I can't remember, but he goes to the Batcave and messes stuff up, and then I don't know. Isn't this the one where they go? No, I'm thinking of the Mr. Freeze episode because they go visit Carl Ross.
Yeah,
in that
and
one.
we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah.
This one was cool. Like Hardak was a really interesting character who was original to the DCAU. A lot of story elements kind of borrowed from Blade Runner. Carl Rosum, in particular, is the same character as I don't know the voice actor's name.
Yeah, the toy making guy.
He looks just like him, voiced by him from his appearance in Blade Runner. So duplicants are basically supposed to be the replicants. Yeah, I mean, easily.
Yeah.
Hardak's also really similar to Brother Eye.
They both have cunts in the name.
They have what?
They both have. Don't make me say it again. You heard me.
I don't know if I heard you right, but okay. Move.
Yeah, I get you.
The
got
robots.
it.
I doubt they have what you said.
That's true. Well, we don't know for sure. We'll have
to rewind
pull
about
that
15
into
seconds.
Legacies. Yeah. Let me just turn that into a little remix.
They both have.
Yeah, there's like a robot Batman. They made it's an infamous enough little character that they've made like statues of Metallo Batman or whatever, like
Batman.
face half ripped.
And he comes back for the Batman
yeah.
Beyond thing.
I guess, yeah, kind of. Like that's the speculation anyway, is that those that little 2014 short, those are all like Hardak Batman things. That's also something we talk about in the next Sunday video. Whoa, synergy! Shadow of the Bat Part 2, we kind of already did that. She's Batgirl now. This was the less interesting of the two halves. The two-parters on this show tend to kind of do that sometimes. Where like the first one's all about like, oh, Gordon's being arrested. Oh my God, like this isn't fair. And please, Batman, come to the rally. And oh, I guess I'll dress up as Batman and all this stuff. And then this second half is just Batgirl's punching things. I don't know. It's just not as interesting.
Cool.
It's still good.
Glad she made it in the show.
Yeah. She's got like the costume that she's in at the end of part one when she's like,
Let's see what Batgirl can do.
I guess, yeah. Which we got Brizzy to record in case we want to ever use that for a Legacies promo or something.
Thanks to Brizzy voices.
But yeah.
Fire from Olympus.
What was I saying? Her costume is different at the end of part one than we ever see it again. I know I'm obsessed with costumes, but why is it different? Like I've been meaning to do like a little character model of that one, just as like a little Easter egg or something.
Maybe bring in
it'll be
the
on
Dark Knight Adventures. I'm fresh in my Dark Knight Adventures because we're probably going to talk about it on our next podcast. Not this episode, but maybe the next one. That was like an original webcomic that The World's Finest Online put out a few years ago. Anyway, Batgirl wears a yellow bat suit, the same one from Starcross. Second time I brought it up in this episode.
Those
Go
Mad
look
Men.
at that yellow bat suit video if you haven't already.
You've probably
Hopefully
already
that's
seen
what
it.
brought
That's
you
probably
here,
how
yeah.
you found this channel.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Fire from Olympus. Maxi Zeus.
Yeah, Maxi Zeus. He's a Zeusy guy. He's got
Dr. Zeus. All the places you'll go.
Dr. Zeus. That's right. That's his name. the thinks you'll think. He's on like a rooftop, and he's Hades. My brother Hades is here, and Batman's. That's why we did that in the Scarecrow.
We made
thing.
Hades look like
The
Batman's little
cheeky
shadow there
thing
in that one
where,
panel.
Yeah, Batman's shadow. Yeah, yeah. And
fun.
Is this an original villain, or
Yeah,
was
he's
he
from the
already
comic
in
books.
comics?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's too bad.
Also, he's based off a figure from Greek mythology. Believe it or not.
Oh,
Yeah,
Poseidon.
no.
Yeah. That's
Different
why they
bearded
call
guy.
him Maxwell Poseidon. Maxie Poseidon.
He's friends with Randall Savage. We're creating
like,
our own
insane
Injustice
and
Gang
thinks
right
he's
now.
just-
We've got
Yeah.
Max,
Randall
Savage.
It's also got
and his new buddy,
Gilface
Maxwell
and Two
Poseidon.
Mason. Yeah. Yeah. Should do a T-shirt.
Well, we
of
gotta
those
keep
characters.
working up to a whole team, but we'll get there.
All right. Is Maxwell Poseidon? Is he also a combination with Maxwell Lord, sort of? Like, no, okay.
Nope.
All right. So he's not. He's just a crazy guy that thinks he's Zeus. I guess
That's
like
his
that's
thing,
his
yeah,
whole motivation.
Yeah.
And
Which used to
that's
say he's
that.
not. Zeus is a he's not trans. Sorry, he does transform.
Zeus is a
I mean,
transsexual.
there's a whole Greek myth about him turning into a swan and having sex with with a woman, and he was a swan.
Is it Zeus that like bursts out of his dad's leg or some shit?
Cronus. Yeah.
I remember reading about that in 7th grade, and that was the like
He
weirdest
came out of
thing I'd ever heard of.
Cronus's leg, and then his mom, I
Yeah.
forget his mom's name,
David
but
Clinton.
Zeus was the only one of his siblings who survived Cronus because Cronus ate
Yeah.
his kids. That was his thing. He eats
Yeah.
his babies, pulls them out of his legs, and eat them.
Right. But I thought it was that like he eats the babies, and then Zeus is the only one to like fuck that and burst out of.
Well, only because he
him or
burst
something.
out, but then like got kind of he was able to be hidden until he grew up and then killed his dad.
Okay. I'll just stay inside my dad until I'm ready to strike. And then Maxwell Poseidon will dominate the airwaves. Demon's Quest Part 2, we already kind of talked about that. Well, I mean, it's that. This is the shirtless sword fight. That's what everybody remembers from this one. I think, right? Yeah. Because I never understood Raz. You didn't file your paperwork, all rules, motivations in this series until I was like an adult. Like if you go back, it's the least like obvious to a kid villainous character. Like he wants the world to be like much more nature-y.
Yeah, he's
So
an
he's,
environmental
like-
terrorist.
Yeah, but it's a lot less like obvious to a kid than like I robbed a bank or I want to freeze you or something. He has like a lot. He has like political motivations, sort of.
Is he
and
wrong?
It was never
Was he
something I
really
understood.
wrong?
Yeah, I mean he global warming.
Climate change. Sir.
Uh,
Climate change is the right
yes.
word.
I was sorry. Is that the
'Cause
buzzword?
it doesn't just
for
warm.
what we're
Sometimes
talking
it gets cold.
about?
It's the
Okay.
winter time right now.
Have
Winter's
you-
coming.
You seen that ice cap time lapse from like 1980 to now, and it's like just like half the size that it used to be. It's pretty sad. Read my lips. This is a Poison Ivy episode, I think.
Nope. It's
Yes.
Scarface and ventriloquist.
No, it's the ventriloquist. I was like, lips must be
Because she
Poison
has
Ivy.
lips. Just like every other
Is this
character
the first
in the DCAU.
ventriloquist?
Name one who
Yes.
doesn't. The question. Okay.
I was just gonna say, yeah. No, he does have
But
lips.
not in his mask.
Is there a character that doesn't have lips?
The Annihilator.
That's not a
Hardak.
person.
Okay,
a person.
yeah.
A human.
Oh, what
being,
about
or a
the
alien.
the things in Dr. Fate's like weird dimension that have the like eyes on their fingers?
The streaming hands?
But
Yeah,
do they have lips on their hands?
They don't have. They probably don't have hand lips. I think we got it.
The Imperium
first ventriloquist?
soldiers. They don't have lips.
Shut the fuck. Is this the first? Is this the first ventriloquist episode? I think yes. I don't think we've talked about
Yes,
him yet.
it is the first.
Okay, thank you for the final
It is indeed.
confirmation. He's the guy that has a dummy, or no, he's the
Scarface
dummy,
is the
isn't he?
no. Actually, Scarface is the leader. Ventriloquist is the dummy
Yeah, Arnold Wesker is the true dummy.
because he's being taken advantage of a little toy wooden little gangster. So
Yeah, the guy that voices Scarface also voices Perry White. On
I would
Superman.
have no idea. They sound nothing alike.
Well, they do. Because it's the
Never
same
don't.
guy. I'm telling you. He's an
I've always
interesting
liked
character
ventriloquist.
because he's psychologically like messed up versus like most of the Batman villains are, I guess, but he's always been the most like, dude, like get it together,
so?
kind of like you're
I don't
definitely
know.
insane.
I think Scarface is like a cursed dummy that does come to life, but it has to pick. I think it picks people.
Like a
Yeah.
host, like
So,
a
because
symbiote.
There's been other ventriloquists in the comic books. There's been
yeah.
multiple ones. So I really think that he's a demonic little demon dummy. That's my
All right.
theory.
Well, speaking of possessed toys, The Worry Men is the next episode, and it's where Veronica Vreeland brings back from like South America or
yeah.
something, some little group of dolls that are like, oh, I found these cool dolls, but they're
You
like,
put them under your pillow when you go to sleep, and
yeah, but
then the tribesmen come kill you.
dying, yeah. Although I think it turns out to be some sort of technology. I can't remember. Oh, yeah. The dolls contain a tiny microchip which plants hypnotic suggestions. Why is that in the official synopsis? Like, here's what happens in the entire episode.
And it wasn't the Mad Hatter in this one, which is usually his MO.
Yeah. This is a weird one that doesn't really get brought up very much. I think this is in like Bruce Timm's short list of like, I do not like
Which
these
is probably
episodes.
fair. It's not a good one. It's a pretty bad one.
It's worried, man.
I rewatched this one recently, actually, The Worry Men.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't have any. I don't know. I was researching Veronica Vreeland for our upcoming Legacies arc that we're going to do next year. So I needed to watch an episode with her.
You don't really know much about her.
I
She
watched it
exists
anyway.
And has red hair usually. She has blonde hair in Sub-Zero so that little kids don't get confused that she's not Batgirl.
Yeah, it's important.
Which actually, I think I agree with that because when I was a little kid, every time that I watched Phantasm, I got really confused by the redhead woman that splashes wine in Bruce's face. Because the very previous scene, we see Andrea on a plane, and all you see of her is like her face, like part of her face and her red hair.
I always got confused in the same movie in the party scene where you hear the woman yelling, "Brucey, where are you?" And it's like, that's Arlene Sorkin. That's Harley Quinn. Why is Harley at his party? Who let Harley at the party?
Engagement. Yeah. But yeah, like there's redhead Andrea, and the very next scene, a redheaded woman splashes his wine face, and I've always
As
thought,
soon
like,
as you think
that's
about where to
Andrea
register
Beaumont
in
as a
China,
kid.
he forgets your phone number.
That's Bruce Wayne's style.
That's my style too.
Yeah,
I don't
whenever
have any phone numbers
get,
memorized. Not in this day and age.
Whenever the fancy gentlemen don't call me back, I just throw wine at them. Oh, the cat litter box alarm is going off. Stop. That happened last time. We've managed to always record when my litter box alarms go off. Sideshow. This is Killer Croc, and he's goes to a circus, people.
This one
little,
has
like,
Seal
seal
Boy.
boy.
Yeah.
Seal
Seal Boy's
boy.
great. He should have come
the
back.
most memorable
He
part.
needs
We're
to
both,
be a
"Ooh,
Teen
the
Titan.
Seal
We don't have an
Boy."
Aqualad in this universe. This is our Aqualad.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Seal Boy is the Aqualad we deserve in the DCAU.
I don't think he has like aquatic
can-
powers.
yeah, he can
I think
swim.
he's just a deformed,
He can swim really well,
weird
though. He can
little
swim
kid.
really well.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Titans, go! Seal Boy, swim over there.
Slap him with your flipper.
You're doing great, buddy. Just gets murdered immediately. Rest in peace, Seal Boy of our dreams.
I always liked
Batman-
this episode. There was like Croc
Yeah.
finds a little bit of redemption with this group, but then he ends up betraying them later. But there was also like a really cool scene of Batman like trying to chase Croc for a while before they actually before he finds the group again. And isn't there like that one scene where Batman almost falls off a rock cliff or something? It has like the weirdest line. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like the weirdest quote.
No.
I gotta look it up real quick. Hold on.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe it's on the DCAU wiki.
Yeah, let me
Maybe there's
Yeah, I
quotes
wonder
there.
if I can.
Or does he say, "Wow, this cliffside is killer, Croc"?
No, it wasn't that lame.
Does he say that?
I
Oh.
am.
It wasn't that
It
line
wasn't
that
that
exists.
lame, is what I said.
So-
Oh, I remember now. So
okay.
he almost falls off the cliff, and then as he he climbs back up, and he says, "And they say the city's dangerous." I always thought that was funny.
It was that lame. You
It
were
was
wrong.
like, okay, all right, Batman, you almost fall off a cliff. All right.
It's like almost as bad as like him doing the little thumbs
Yeah, it's
up
pretty
in
bad.
the corner.
And
or
they say the
something.
city's dangerous. I almost fell off a cliff. That's sideshow for you.
That cliff. Yeah, the city's killer. Croc. Yeah, okay. Bullet for Bullock. That's a pretty good episode. I believe Maddie's doing a VP on it pretty soon. I don't remember what
About
exactly
maybe
about
Bullock's timeline, because we've seen him as a beat cop in Phantasm, and now he's here.
yeah.
Yeah, is this
Let's say that's
is
what
this
it is.
the one where
because
it's
we'll
his
rattle.
landlord who's trying to kill him?
I thought that we talked. I thought we talked about that last time, but maybe
I might
we
have
were
just
wrong
brought it
about,
up just about how Bullock's
Oh,
a
yeah.
sloppy guy,
because it's like one of two Bullock
Yeah.
episodes. Yeah,
and everyone hates him.
yeah, it's his the twist plot spoiler. Hopefully
Yeah,
you've seen
sorry.
all these episodes. Cause
But yeah, he's like just so a horrible being. He just doesn't pay rent on time, and
I think his name's like Sniver.
yeah, something like that.
Nivens.
Snivens.
Something. Yeah, some stupid snooty.
Snivens,
Yeah,
the-
Nivens.
Snooty landlord.
Radigan, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you didn't file your paperwork last night.
Mm-hmm.
And Bullock's like, get off my ass, and then so he tries to murder him
Yeah.
for several days. I think this is on like New Year's Eve or something. Maybe that's also part of the timeline
Really?
thing he's doing. I don't know, Maddie.
It's not New Year's
I'm
Eve.
supposed to have read
I'm
the
doing a
script,
New
but I
Year's Eve
forgot.
thing, and it's not new. It's not this one.
What did you include this episode in your
Nope.
New Year's Eve Trivia Tuesdays? Because you're
Nope,
dumb if
it's
you
not a
didn't.
New Year's Eve episode.
You also have to re-record something else for that episode, so you might as well
Yeah.
add that too.
But it's not a New Year's Eve episode, is it?
Yeah, it is. I think so. Bullet for Bullock. I think it's on like, because Montoya's like, "What are you doing for New Year's?" He's like, "Same as I did for Christmas. Sit on my ass and eat donuts and shit and something." I don't
Are
know.
you
It's just
sure?
something like that.
But you're not thinking of Holiday Nights?
I think so. No. Bullock doesn't do anything, and he picks up Clayface Santa.
I guess I'm
bits.
gonna have to rewatch this one, but I didn't think it was
Yeah,
a New Year's
I think so.
episode.
Comment below if I'm right, which I am, so everyone's gonna.
Oh no,
comment.
you're right. Actually, I'm looking at the wiki, and Montoya does say, "Well, you're sure full of holiday spirit. What are you doing for New Year's?" And Bullock says, "Same thing I did for Christmas. My laundry."
Oh well, I was wrong about what he did for Christmas, but I was right
All right,
about
well, I'll
everything
include
else.
this in my episode. Then. Fine.
Yeah, you got some. homework.
All right, moving on.
Okay, Trial. I think Trial was meant to be a movie.
Yes.
And then they did Sub-Zero
Yeah,
instead,
yes.
I think, because they're like, this isn't good enough for a whole movie or something.
Well, they I think the
yeah,
movie got
but
shot
it's-
down, and they had to instead they just made it into an episode.
This came out 2 days before I turned
Congrats.
3. Cool little fact for you.
This was a great
I
episode
didn't watch it at the time.
because it has all the villains in it.
Yeah.
Basically, they're all hanging out at Arkham.
My favorite part of this episode is when Batman gets kidnapped in the first place to be brought to trial, because he's like following some villain onto a rooftop. I can't remember who. And then Poison Ivy is just dressed
Yeah.
as like Dimitri or like
Demeter.
a statue woman. Yeah. Yeah. And she just like beats him over the head or something. So Batman is just stupid enough to just walk past Poison Ivy just standing there in a costume.
Her lips look like a
And-
statue.
Her lips?
It's Poison Ivy. She's got lips.
Oh yeah, she does have lips, huh?
But Trial, I mean, Trial's one of those episodes that, like, if you haven't watched it, you have to. It's one of the best of the entire
Yeah.
series.
Yeah, it's funny seeing them all like on the jury stand.
It's
thing,
funny.
All the
Joker's
villains.
the judge.
He did this thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have made Two-Face the
No.
judge as foreshadowing.
Oh, for the episode Judgment Day, where he's the judge.
Yeah, where he's the
okay.
judge.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, there's good stuff in this. I feel like there's some sort of timeline, like linchpin in this episode. Like someone says something that affects like 30 other episodes, but I'm probably wrong. I don't know what it is.
Do you like your Two-Face to have a dash between two and face, or just one word?
I noticed that in this description. I think that he is supposed to have a dash between two and face.
I like my Two-Face with a
otherwise,
dash,
it kind of
too.
looks like Twofase.
Twafus.
Yes. Yeah, Twafus. That's right. There's another member of our Legion of Doom or whatever.
Twafus.
It's just spelled like Two-Face without the dash. It's like, no, it's not Two-Face. It's Twafus. It's a completely different character. Yeah. I think this is the first. No, this is the second Janet Van Dorn.
Is it really? I didn't know she was in
second of
2
two
episodes. What else is she in?
episode. She was in the one where she's in the Shadow of the Bat, I think. One of them where he's on trial, or like Gordon is arrested, and so she's like, I'll take over as commissioner. But she has like different
Are you
glasses
sure about that, though?
in both episodes. No, I'm not gonna bet anything else.
Well, you're
on
right,
this
actually. You were correct. She is in Shadow of the
One.
Bat.
Oh, God
So-
damn it! I could have gotten another thing of my own.
Or maybe I would have had to buy
Um,
your wife's brother a Christmas gift. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, I should have taken it. Next time I will. Avatar.
Rachel Ghoul's
This
back.
is where Ra's al Ghul's. Yeah, he's like. This one's all about his back. You're right.
Egyptian sorceress comes back to life, sort of thing.
This was always like a favorite visual one
Yeah.
of mine as a kid, just because it's got some really creepy like skeleton green goo floating around. And
You know
stuff
they made
in
this
it.
because the Mummy
like
was so
it's-
popular.
Maybe. I don't. In 1994, probably not. I think that's too
Yeah,
early.
you might be right.
But
Yeah, it's
yeah,
99.
it's
I bet.
what's her name? Thoth Capera or something, and she's like an ancient
you think
Egyptian
she knew,
goddess or whatever.
Yeah,
Hawkman?
what was his name? I forget the Egyptian name of him.
Katar
No, that
Hall?
was the
What are you
Thanagarian
Oh,
name.
the dude, the little the
Cthulhu
Krager
or something.
dude. Is that what you're talking? What? Tafiti?
I don't know.
What are you talking
the
about?
ancient Egyptian
you
version of Hawkman.
Yeah,
his name was
Katar
Katar
Hall.
Hall. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Khufu.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
isn't
Prince
that-
Khufu or
is that not
something? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
his
you
name.
said something.
Khufu.
Yeah. I thought you said Fufu the
No.
first time.
Fufu can be in our
But,
Legion of Doom.
Yes, the answer's Fufu. And we can't just
I
throw
know.
things in there. He has to be thought out
Okay.
slightly. But yeah, at the start of this episode, he like goes down into like, or you see like it's implied to be Rachel Gould like going down in like a
Raz.
basket, like, oh, I'm gonna go explore this cave. Sorry, Rachel Raz. He goes into down in the thing, and he's like, oh no, help! And they pull back up the rope, and he's dead.
But like not
But
really.
like
'cause
it
they have
looks
the
just
lasers,
like,
but-
yeah, but it looks like him. But I don't think it's timeline wise. I don't think it can be him. It's just some dude that also has the same like spiky razor all ghoul hair.
It's popular
so
in
I don't know.
Egypt. Popular hairstyle.
Yeah, I guess so. In the 1400s or whatever. House and Garden. This is one of my favorite episodes. It's
This one of
Poison
mine, too.
Ivy,
One of the best
and she's
animation.
like, yeah, it looks really good. It's got those like big hulking spiky cactus
those
monsters
are
in it. And Poison Ivy's like, I'm not doing any of this. I'm married and I have kids now and I'm fine. It's good. And Batman spends the whole episode going like, she can't possibly have lips. I gotta
He's
look
like
into
spying
this.
on the family
And then
from a
she's-
tree in their front yard with his
That,
binoculars.
yeah, in broad daylight. Yeah.
Yeah, if those people who
And-
watched Phantasm with you that we talked about last episode, if they had seen him spying on the little suburban house with his binoculars,
Yeah,
They would be
just
laughing
cracked-
so
yeah,
much
lost
more.
it. Yeah. Yeah, just he's very hidden in that green tree in the middle of
Yeah.
the day.
I remember
yeah,
the
and so
end of this episode being really good animation wise, where they're like in the family's basement and they figure out all the
Yeah.
clones and stuff, and there's like just beautiful lighting. That's like
yeah, it's got this like black light kind of
and
thing.
so it makes
going
Batman
on,
and Robin's costume highlights really stand out in a cool way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good looking episode. And yeah, and then of course Poison Ivy is still Poison Ivy, and she's been making all this happen. But even she is a clone, and she got away on an airplane, and they will do a video about Poison Ivy clones at some point. People have been wanting it for a while. It's been on the voting thing, and no one votes for it. Everyone votes for the other thing.
If you don't vote, you can't complain.
Yeah. Yeah, vote or don't.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully do the first one.
Terrible Trio.
Yeah, it's good. Bad.
This is probably the worst
this
episode
is also on
of
Bruce
the series.
Timm's least favorite episode.
It's horrible. It's like just what's kind of cool about it is it's three rich bros who just get
it's like
beat up by Batman, and that's great. Like, they deserve it.
It's like what Batman could have been if he had no training.
He could have been a vulture,
he could have just worn like
or
a
the shark,
bat head.
or a fox. Yeah. That's lame.
Yeah. I remember that this episode was one, like, I would visit the Batman the Animated Series like official website and just look at screenshots all the time, and they had like just one from this episode, and it was like the like down or like upward angle looking up at the three headed,
which was a cool gimmick, but they all wore like leather jackets and their mask.
Yeah. But I had not seen most of the series at this point. I had just seen like random episodes that I liked, and I saw those, and I had also seen screenshots of like the werewolf and tigress and Catwoman as a Catwoman and stuff like that. And so I was just thinking, like, are these also like weird spliced humans that are like a fox and a shark? But no, they're just dudes wearing face masks, Halloween masks.
It's terrible. That's why they called it the Terrible Trio.
This was those stupid rubber horse masks before those were popular.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah. Thank you, Bojack.
Thank you, 1995. Oh, September 11th, 1995. Never forget the Terrible Trio. That's what really people are celebrating. Oh no, that's not what I meant. The Harley Quinn.
You should not have drank espresso during this. That was your mistake.
Yeah, I'm drunk on coffee right now. Harley Quinn something.
It's like lemonade, but
Harley Quinn. The one? Oh yeah, When Life Gives You Harlequins. Did she make? Is this the one where
she sings on a piano?
I'm by myself. Yo,
that's great.
Okay.
Yeah, she and Batman driving around the Batmobile. What they do again later. This kind of has the same plot of Batman and Harley Quinn, the movie, which is DCAU canon.
Yeah, this is the one where they and Bruce Timm even said like, oh, we just did this again.
Yeah, it's kind of just Harley and Batman.
It's even got Batman and Dick Grayson in it, I think. Yeah.
And then they do have a cool confrontation with the Joker at the end of the episode. I'm pretty sure there's a little like helicopter fight with the Joker at the end.
Yeah, it's like a biplane or something.
Fun.
Yeah, he's like shoots at Harley Quinn, I think, but like there's no bullets or something, so she's like, well, you were gonna shoot me, and he's like, no, I wasn't. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's cool. It's a good episode.
Yeah, and it's that one's a cool like visual scene also, because it's all like fire everywhere, so it's all just orange and lit.
It was
in a
similar
weird
to
way.
the end of Phantasm, where Joker's in the park with all the
Joker
fire. And he's also flying around on a jetpack in that. So a lot of similarities.
What are you doing? That's some of the best stuff of this show is the mood lighting.
Yeah,
the very dark, purposeful lighting of stuff. It kind of gets like, imagine like if Justice League was also like that. I think it would have been a lot more visually interesting. But I do like a lot of the stuff they did with that too, so it's not like it was bad. Anyway,
time out joint. The Clock King returns.
This is the second clock. Yeah. This is with the time traveling little remote things.
Yeah.
Not like time travel, but like you can speed up time
this
or
is
whatever.
One I forgot. I don't think I watched until it was collected as a DVD set. Yeah.
DVDs. Yeah. I don't think I did either.
I remember like seeing a promo of like Batman and Robin on the Batcycle going like at super speed.
Yeah,
and being
yeah.
Like, where was this
There's
from?
some sort of kids WB
episode
thing
was
or
that
something.
from?
Yeah, I feel like you and I talked
had
about
no
this before
idea.
at some point because yeah, we were like, what is this from? Yeah, like when did this
time out
happen?
joint? That's what happened.
Yeah, this is definitely one where when I bought the DVDs, I was like 11 or whatever, and sat down and just watched all of the episodes. That it was like, yeah, what is this? I didn't think that they would do something like this, like this fantasy-ish on this show.
I liked this one, but I always like time travel stuff. There was a character in this who I really wanted to include in Legacies #1, which is the one with Kronos and Batman Beyond.
Dr.
Wakati, because he very much could have lended, like, I mean, maybe he didn't know Kronos, but Kronos could have used his research to help create his time travel device.
Well, we can still do it.
Maybe we'll name drop him. At least that's it in our head canon. So
he there's a scene where the Batmobile has one of the little remotes stuck to it, and Batman and Robin are stuck in traffic for like 3 days or something like that, or like more, like a week or something, where like time for them is going by super fast, but in the normal plane there's just a Batmobile in the center of the street.
I would
for
like
a
to
week.
see a Vanishing Point episode on this. I think it's a natural fit.
Because what I was saying is like Batman and Robin are like a week younger than the rest of humanity. Because they just sat there for like 5 seconds going, oh, stop, what's going on? And then like a lot of time had gone by. But I guess
that explains why Bruce is so spry by Batman Beyond. He saved himself a whole week.
I was going to say, really, we have to take that into consideration for his age. We should redo that video.
He's a week
he's
younger.
between 33 and 35 minus 6 days or whatever.
Catwoman ventriloquist.
Oh, it's okay. This one I really don't
remember this being a good one in terms of like animation and stuff. But I don't remember the details much either.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you anything about this episode. It's I guess Catwoman and ventriloquist.
It's another Veronica Vreeland. She comes back. She was Bruce Wayne's childhood friend, who's also a rich bougie person who has too much money. She could have been Batwoman.
That's true.
If her parents had died in an alley, she had the same sort of life. Oh well.
Vreeland. No, I was trying to make a word mystery out of her name. Miss Vreeland of the Batwoman. That doesn't work at all. Batman has to intercede before the furious feline makes things worse by killing the double-talking ventriloquist. I guess I gotta go watch this because I don't know. I'm sure it's probably a good episode.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Bane is next. Sorry, Catwalk. Why don't we know this episode at all? Oh well, Bane. It's Bane.
It's his first episode. He's a little wimpy in this one. They redesigned him for the new Batman Adventures to make him a lot more threatening, like his comic book origin, like
less luchador. More
in the comics he's like a criminal mastermind. Like it's a lot more like the Bane that we see in The Dark Knight Rises, where he's like an international threat. So
yeah, like Nightfall, where isn't it Nightfall where he like, oh, I'm gonna break everyone out of Arkham,
and then he manipulates them all to do his bidding. It's all like how Hush operates in that story.
Yeah, he's not just I'm on steroids guy, but whatever. Did this come out post?
Yeah, Nightfall was. I mean, it wasn't the first Bane story, but this was definitely post Nightfall. Let me confirm that. I'm saying things
like the most famous Bane story.
I'm saying it's post Nightfall, but I'm just double checking. It's
this Bane story.
Nightfall was 93 to 94, so this premiered September 94, so it was probably wrapped up by the time it premiered.
Yeah. No, it's definitely after that because he picks up Batman and says like, "I will break you," and then Batman snaps.
I'm sure that part happened.
Venom thing before he can.
It's likely they were still dealing.
That was a purposeful nod. I think,
probably by this time, Azrael was Batman and all that stuff was happening.
I'm kind of glad they didn't do anything like that.
I kind of would have liked to see Azrael in an animated
form.
But
I mean, like they didn't like whatever's currently happening in the comics. We have to do that. Like they just stuck to like classic stuff.
Now Bane's a classic.
Yeah,
and I think it's because the show included him.
This is also like probably the first time we see him defeat Bane by plucking the Venom string But now that's just how you defeat Bane in every scenario. Batman and Robin, that's how they defeat him. They pull
Dark
the
Knight
plug.
Rises, he doesn't have Venom.
Yeah, but he punches his mask thing until he can't do what he needs to do. It's sort of the same tactic. I don't know. It's just Bane is always like, even in other Bane episodes of this show, he just pulls the plug to stop him. Like
There was a
okay.
time
That's
where
the only way you can
Bane
do
was
it.
a member of the Secret Six, alongside Catman and Deadshot.
The Vulture and Mysterio.
No, but he was hanging out with Scandal Savage, not Randall, but Scandal Savage. And Bane and Scandal, Vandal Savage's daughter, end up having this like really cool intimate friendship where he like treats her like a little sister, and he has like she's kind of helped him go off of the venom, so he's like drug free, still really strong, and still you know kind of a mastermind. But yeah, Secret Six by Gail Simone did really cool take
There's
on
sort
Bane.
of a sequel to this Bane episode also in the comic, the Batman and Robin Adventures.
Does it involve
where he has like a little Hispanic friend that's like, oh, you gotta be good again, Bane. You were a good guy before.
It's kind of like how
and,
Mr.
like,
Freeze
convinced him
has
to be-
the
yeah, he's got his little
yeah.
kunak boy.
That's weird.
Little
That's a little
kunak.
weird.
Bane has his own little
Okay.
kunak in there.
This is Robin. His
Baby
little Robin
doll.
equivalent. Baby
Sure.
doll is a little.
Everyone's got to have their kunak from time to time. Baby doll is a little baby doll. She's a
Paul Dini
girl.
episode.
Yes, he created this character, and this is a Batman villain that does not get the exposure
She and the
deserves, I
ventriloquist
think.
should have had a team up. That would be cool.
No, she and
Well, yeah.
Scarface. She becomes the
That
new
would be
ventriloquist.
weird. I don't think she could
she
hold
just
him.
has to like walk
Yeah, they're
around.
like arms
Has to
around
walk
each
around
other.
with
just-
Scarface, yeah. Do like a Yoda backpack. It's just anyway.
Or she dresses up as a ventriloquist. And he's like taking over her mind.
Yeah. And just goes around going like, "Hey, dummy!" Like,
Talking to
just
herself.
trying to pretend to be, yeah. Oh, Mr. Scarface. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's definitely me. I'm not a small girl. She has some sort of syndrome that keeps her
From aging.
from,
Or at least
syndrome
growing
from,
up.
The Incredibles.
Do you think she's
specifically.
immortal because of this?
Well,
Will we see her in Batman Beyond looking like a little baby?
she should have shown up in Hereafter when Superman goes 1,000 years in the future.
Yes. It would have been cool to see
the
her just
only
like on the
surviving
shelf,
people.
like a Vandal Savage's little lair. Like she and Scarface
What?
are just
Why
next to
would
each
she-
other.
Is she stuffed now? Did Vandal Savage have her
taxidermy,
like
yeah.
have yeah?
This is some bad fan fiction here.
Nope.
See
Shark
this in a future
Testa.
episode of Legacies. Fortunately, Vandal Savage's Hereafter universe no longer exists, so we don't have to go there.
That's truly the best way to cap off Baby Doll's story.
We
You know,
didn't
pay
even
tribute
talk
to
about the
Paul
episode.
Dini. I don't know. She kidnaps. What's
Stanky?
his face?
Swanky? What's his name? Sparky.
Yeah, his Spanky. What's his name?
Smelly.
the guy.
Uncle, no,
Smelly
cousin
poo.
Spunky. That's,
Is
I
that
don't
right?
think so.
We're 12th level intellects for sure.
Yeah, but we need to be.
Cousin. I think cousin Spank. Cousin Spanktopus. What's his name? Tell me.
His name
Spunky?
was
Is it
cousin
Spunky?
Spunky. Yep, that's weird. That doesn't age well.
It doesn't sound like it's right,
It
but
is
I guess
right.
it is. And other actors from the show she used to be on,
Especially
and
cousin
then
Spunky.
Batman. Batman shows her, or she like ends up in a funhouse mirror and sees what she might look like somehow, and then she's like, "No, I can't." It's a very like sudden end to the episode. It's sad, but it's like she's like doing just fine, and then sees herself in that reflection, and then she's like, "Oh, I give up because I don't look like that." At the end,
Same way he
but it's so
defeats
good.
Calendar Girl in the new Batman Adventures.
Yeah,
which we'll talk
you're
about
right.
some other time. Right.
Yeah.
Next one, The Lion and the Unicorn.
The Lion and the Unicorn. This was the final aired episode
the
of the
77th
show.
produced.
Which is kind of in the same way as like Batman Beyond's Unmasked, where it's not really a good finale. It just kind of ends like you think like, oh, this is the last episode. Wow, it's got to be amazing.
Epilogue.
this shows how Alfred used to be like involved with MI6 or something, like the
Basically
British
James Bond.
Secret Service. Yeah, and Red
Claw's
Claw
back.
takes
Always,
his old friend.
She should have been used more. She had so much potential, even in the comic books.
Yeah.
Our friend Matt Manning has a really cool Red Claw pitch, but I can't share it on here. He's the guy who wrote the
Can we use
Batman
it?
Teenage Ninja Turtles Adventures book.
We should get Matthew Manning to write an episode or issue of Legacies.
If that doesn't cost him his jobs at DC.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Put the idea in his brain. Anyway,
accept it.
he the Red Claw, her model sheet reads Red Dragon. So I think that was originally supposed to be what she was called, but I think Red Claw is a lot cooler
And
sounding.
now she's got that claw print on her shoulder.
Yeah, she still had that in the model sheet, so that is not a dragon at all.
It's not a dragon paw.
You know.
It's a bear claw. It's a
Yeah,
bear
dragon
claw.
paws.
It's
Dragon
a Russian
paws,
bear
dragon
claw, because
paws.
Russians have bears.
Almost time for dragon paws. Yeah.
Siberia.
The dude that she takes, like Alfred's friend or whatever, when I was a wee boy, I thought that was supposed to be, like, I didn't understand different continuities and universes and stuff.
You
I
were
thought
more like
Batman and Robin.
a third level intellect.
Yeah, something around there, fourth or fifth. I would
Like
give it a
first.
little bit of
was a
wiggle room.
first level
But
intellect.
I kind of assumed that guy was, like, in Batman and Robin. Alfred's like, oh, I had like a cousin or some.
Batman
shit.
and Robin,
I can't
the
remember
movie?
because
Well,
yeah.
Barbara Gordon was his niece or something.
yeah, but she's Barbara Pennyworth or whatever in that part. Barbara something else. But he
Barbra
like talks
Streisand.
about like, oh yeah, I had my sister or something, and I also had a brother. I don't know. I thought it was him. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's
It
not.
doesn't matter. Showdown. This is the only one that's not like set in Batman
Jonah
time.
Hex.
It's like Ra's al Ghul versus
Yeah,
Jonah Hex.
that was cool.
Yeah. And this is like
1800s.
I think it's but it's I think it's
This is technically
either
after. No, this
before-
is after the Jonah Hex we see in Justice League. By like
but
20
barely,
years.
like yeah, but he ages
well,
horribly.
it's 1840s
Like,
versus 1860s, I think. But I could be wrong. That's a Maddie question.
Maybe I don't know. I thought 1879 was the year on the newspaper in Once a Future Thing, but maybe I am wrong. I don't know. I just edit all the videos. You just do you stick to your trivia,
Jonah Hex
boy.
is cool.
You're
I have
probably
no idea.
Yeah, he's got like a Two-Face face, but not from Harvey knowing. He's just
born that way with a weird eye.
Isn't like it
Weird eye and a
thought
weird
in
little
the comics
flesh thing in his mouth.
Yeah, he's got
Little
like a
fleshy
flesh stick. Flesh
Yeah. Little
pipe.
Little flesh.
I think he's stop. Isn't I thought in the comics that he like gets kidnapped by Native Americans or something, and they like torture him,
Maybe he's like
and that's why
branded
he
or
has
something.
that face.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but you know, it
cursed.
doesn't matter.
I don't know my Jonah Hex very well, and I didn't read the All-Star Western book that came out a few years ago by Jimmy Palmiotti. I hear it's awesome. It was a great read. I missed it. Sorry.
Okay. He fights Ra's al Ghul on a train, I
Yeah.
think. Ra's al Ghul's like, I got the railroad. That's important. That's gonna be
Trains are
important.
very
And
ominous in
then-
Batman. Arnold Stromwell
Yeah,
didn't
there's a
like
lot
a
of train
train.
stuff,
The
yeah.
Joker, Christmas Joker, can't have trains without bridges or whatever. I don't know. Little Laffy the elf. He has a little thing.
Can't have
Something. Can't have cousins. Okay. no.
um
Cousins Spunky. There's a joke there. No, there's not.
it's a good. I think it's a
It
good
is.
episode.
It holds up
I'll
well.
have to watch it
Rachel
again.
Gould shows up at the end with
It's-
his ancestor. No, not ancestor.
Yeah,
it's
the-
his descendant,
It's his
Arcady
son.
Duvall. But now he's old.
Yeah.
Because he didn't share the Lazarus pit. What a jerk.
Yeah, because he's not a true Ra's al Ghul.
He's a Duvall.
Riddler's Reform. This is a good one. This is another favorite of mine.
Riddle me this. Riddle me
I-
this. Do you think the Riddler actually
Oh?
reformed?
Well, no,
Yeah, he comes back in the new adventures.
Yeah,
And he's not reformed.
he's for barely any time at
He
all.
did not learn his
But,
reformation.
I do appreciate that, even though I don't like his new outfit, in that they stuck to not just putting him back in the old one, because he burns it in this episode. But so yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna do Riddler stuff anymore, but he can't help himself because he's Riddler.
Addicted to it. Addicted to riddles.
Yeah, he's got like the map where he puts coordinates on it, but he flips it upside down, and they go to the wrong place because they forgot that he flipped it upside down. And
Yeah,
it's good.
I liked it.
I like when I was chatting with Dan Reba, who I believe is the director of this episode. He directed a bunch of Batman episodes, Justice League episodes.
You mean over chat? We haven't
was
gotten to
talking about-
interview him yet.
No, yeah, I just was talking to him on Facebook. Eventually, we'll do an interview with him. That just doesn't keep lining up correctly with him.
busy
But he was talking about how he hates the title card on this episode because it just says Riddler's Reform, like with no apostrophe, and that he like just hates that no one caught that, and like he wished that he had said something. And that was like one of the first things I checked with the Blu-ray release, because they had fixed a bunch of little typos and stuff, but they didn't fix it. It still says multiple Riddlers reform. That's what this episode's about.
But there's only
This is where
one
the
Riddler
Riddlers
that
reform.
reforms, and he doesn't even reform.
Correct. It's all just a mess. Second Chance, I believe this is where Two-Face is going to stop being Two-Face.
Everyone's
then he doesn't
stopping
go to the...
in these last few episodes.
Yeah, you're right.
Everyone's
Yeah, like,
done.
oh, we're wrapping up the series. We better make everyone stop doing their thing.
Give everyone a happy ending.
He's going to do like an operation to make his face not a Two-Face anymore. But then he doesn't go through with it, I think.
This is a plot point that happens often, even in the comic books. Like, right after Infinite Crisis, Harvey Dent was kind of... Batman went on a sabbatical during the events of 52, and he ended up going to this cave and...
Sabbatical?
Yeah, exactly. That was on purpose. And Harvey's kind of asked to take over as Gotham City's protector. And he is Harvey for a while. He's like a reformed Harvey Dent. Except after a while, obviously, it doesn't go well, and he ends up going crazy and causes himself to become Two-Face again, which we've also seen in a Bruce Timm thing, that Batman Black and White.
Yep, black and white. Yep. He's got like he did the surgery, but he's still got little scars and stuff, and then he like burns his own face again by the end because he can't take it. He's got to be Two-Face, which may be canon.
Yeah. Well, it canon.
I don't know. I'm not going to do a whole episode of that one tiny comic. Okay, Harley's Holiday. We got to get through the last little bit here. This is the one I get confused with Harley Quinn because it's just
another holiday.
Harley Quinn. Yeah. But this is where she actually like she's sane, and she goes on a shopping spree, and have you ever seen the YouTube channel Mr. Custodian on YouTube? It's like it's just clips from various episodes of these shows, and they all have really weird titles. And there's one from this episode where it's Batman. It's just Bruce Wayne standing outside the like changing room that Harley's in at the mall, and it just says like, Batman, help Harley Quinn get undressed or something. Just some weird, like, I don't understand how that channel exists, but anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a good episode. She's got the hyenas. She's got the look. She's got the way.
It's Harley.
Lockup.
I liked Lockup a lot.
Lockup.
This was an original character.
Yeah, we
to
put
the
him in
DCAU.
Legacies already.
This was also his first appearance, and he ends up getting translated to the comics later.
He's in No Man's Land and stuff, I think. He looks pretty much the same.
He's
in
an
that too.
Arkham guard who
costume.
ends up going off the deep end.
Is he Mad Stan's dad,
Is
though? Whoa.
Maybe.
We've talked about that already. Check out the video at the link in the description.
Let's talk Condiment King and make him laugh.
Yeah, let's skip the rest of Lockup.
Lockup happened, but make him laugh.
Yes. Yeah, Condiment King and Mighty Mom and
Rat Pack.
Whatever.
Pack Rat.
Pack Rat.
Mouse Rat.
Frank Sinatra. And no, it's good. Joker's wants to be on the comedy show, and they're like, no. So he makes...
You're not funny
puts
enough.
them all in the spell.
Stand-up comedians are mean, man.
And... Yeah.
They're a mean bunch. They have to have thick
I like
skin.
it when he shows up at the lady's apartment like, oh, here's your pizza. Just kidding. Somehow this cardboard box is full of gas that will make
you imagine him
laugh.
like taking the effort to inject the box full of gas?
Yeah, and then like plug the hole like an air mattress at the last second. Like it's just
you have to
starting to
admire
leak
the
out.
Joker for his ingenuity.
Yeah, his dedication.
Yeah. He's a scientist.
Yeah, this is another one like Phantasm where he draws like a smiley face on Joker. Oh no, it's the Joker! Like, and that's how I figured it out. But he does the same thing where like, hey, Bat Computer, take away his hat, take away his.
I bet
this thing.
that becomes a go-to first step in the future. I bet he's like, what if this guy's the Joker? Let me just. Oh, okay, nope, okay. Whew.
Yeah. Well, in this he does that, but then like in Return of the Joker, he has the technology of like matching their voices and stuff. He's like, okay, I already tried putting a pink smile on him. I already tried taking his
looks
hat
like the
away.
Joker already, so you don't have to draw the smile on him.
Yeah, he's just like, Batman. What if he like he's on stage in Return of the Joker? Joker comes out of the floor and looks at him, and Bruce Wayne's just standing there like
he does like puts the two fingers up, tries to like picture it.
Yeah,
draws a little smile with his finger.
I feel like I've seen you somewhere before. Hang on, let me take your picture and draw a smile. Oh no! He's so geriatric now that he really... okay, Deep Freeze. This is the one I was thinking about where Carl Rossum has the mixture, Mixyezpolik,
and Grant
Batmite
Walker
dolls.
gets the freeze suit and has the whole like city of... It's like some utopian city that they build to like off the coast of Gotham.
And there's another kind of Blade Runner-y robot that comes and steals Mr. Freeze out of Arkham
thought that
Asylum.
looked more like classic Fletcher Superman looking robot thing.
Yeah, it also actually, it looks like in my brain, I see it almost identical to Castle in the Sky. Have you seen that before?
Miyazaki?
It's a Miyazaki. Yeah, it's got those like they're frozen in rust and moss and whatever robots they look almost exactly like... I don't know. They're tall. Hey, I'll look them up. It looks like that.
They look like that.
Yeah. He's like, hey, Mr. Freeze, make me a Mr. Freeze because I want to live forever. I'm old. I'm going to die. And then he does that, but then that guy goes crazy, I think, or something.
And is this technically... Like, does Sub-Zero happen after this episode, Deep Freeze? It does?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was just checking.
Because it's the only way that he gets a hold of Nora. Like, he just thought she was dead or whatever before. Okay. And the last one is Batgirl Returns, which... Batgirl returns in this episode. And she...
There's a Catwoman fight.
At the start, this is the one... Yeah, this is the one where I watched this recently. This episode starts with her, like, dreaming about... like kissing Batman, so I guess this is kind of the first like instance of hooking him up.
But it was her, and she's
first.
like she was into him, which I think is always how it's been.
Yeah.
Even
That's
though
true,
Barbara, you've grown so much.
Yeah, but like this is when she's either dating Dick Grayson or like about to date Dick Grayson. But she's like daydreaming about Batman. And. Although I think this episode happens after Sub-Zero. I think we've discovered. But anyway, she tries to stop Catwoman from stealing a statue, but the statue has already been stolen. I can't remember who actually takes it. I just watched this the other day, but it's something. And yeah, this is kind of one of those episodes where like, I've heard people talk about it's a little weird, but people have talked about like, oh, I hate the art style change to New Batman Adventures because the women in Batman animated series style, they look like women, and I think by that people mean like they have bigger boobs. It's really like and so it's just kind of like one of those episodes where you kind of notice like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but like don't say things like that about cartoons, maybe. I don't know. I probably said worse things on this podcast. Like earlier when I said the things about duplicants. And that's the end of Batman.
That is, yeah. We did it for sure. Let's do comic relief.
Yeah, just tell us about the one comic that you read. Pick
you keep
one.
cutting me down every
It
time.
takes too long and people stop listening.
Oh, you have the data? Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
Heroes in
have the
Crisis. Sure. Well, I appreciate you all listening to this. This is my favorite part. I'm going to be turning this into a live. I will be talking to you in front of the camera a bit.
Yeah,
Me,
boy.
Ted, Comic Relief. Bi-weekly at least. Maybe weekly. We'll see how much I'm into it.
Yeah.
We'll see. But anyway, here's the segment on the podcast. I read Heroes in Crisis number 3. It's by Tom King, the same guy who wrote Mr. Miracle and the ongoing Batman comic. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of like the DC's, I mean, yeah, it's a crisis, but it's not like the multiverse is at stake. It's a lot more personal, like how Identity Crisis was more personal to the characters. Mm-hmm. And in this, the first issue started with this major massacre at this place called the Sanctuary, which was helping heroes heal from traumatic events. In issue 3, we focus on 3 major characters and kind of see their journey through the Sanctuary. It's all pretty much a flashback to before the massacre. And so 2 of the characters featured...
So you had talked about this comic before where it starts off very like, everyone's dead.
Right, some major characters like Roy Harper and Wally West. And
which Wally West?
The one who came back during DC Rebirth.
Redheaded one. Okay.
Yeah, the DC Rebirth special. The one who was like a member on the Titans and had only been back in comics for like 2 years.
That was a touching moment.
Yeah, it was a really touching moment. Kind of sucks he was cut off so fast. But this issue, kind of like it's a cool flashback with Wally and like why he was at the Sanctuary and what he's dealing with, which is the erasure of his family. He was married to Linda Park and had 2 kids right before Flashpoint erased them all from continuity. And so he's like imagining himself with his family again, because they don't exist in this version of the DCU.
Yeah, these are things that I don't know.
Yeah, no, it was a really touching moment. And another part of it, which I thought was really cool, was about Lagoon Boy, of all people. Lagoon Boy was in season 2 of Young Justice as the main character.
He's the creature from the Black Lagoon looking boy.
Yeah. And he can kind of like puff up like a blowfish.
Yeah.
Right. So he got killed off in a Teen Titans West special that was published, God, it was probably like 10 years ago. It was around the same time like Static joined the Justice League, or not the Justice League, sorry, the Teen Titans. And in this one special, Titans West, Lagoon Boy and Power Boy and Little Barda and all these really obscure Teen Titans characters all got killed off.
Little Barda?
Yeah, Little Barda.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She came from New Genesis.
She did the Static Shock theme song, I think.
Yeah, probably so. So they all die, and Lagoon Boy is dealing with the events of that issue. Even though that issue was published like 10 years ago, I was like, I was reading it. It was like, really, they're like going that far? Like that was the last time we see Lagoon Boy in comic books.
That's pre-New 52?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. By
so then
a few years.
That's also part of this timeline, I guess.
I think it was Final Crisis, was even before that book, before Blackest Night. Yeah, and so they were talking about how Lagoon Boy got hit by this laser beam in that event, and I thought that was the death of him. Everyone else thought that was the death of him, but apparently he survived it, and ever since then he's been thinking about that laser beam, and just like every moment of his life, he thinks about how the beam hits him and kills him and how much it hurts. And so he goes to the Sanctuary and relives that moment over and over again.
Why does he
He's
know
just like,
happened?
hit me with the beam. Hit me with the beam again. Do it again. And it's really masochistic. Like, it's kind of sad.
So he didn't die?
No, but he's, like, traumatized by the events. Yeah. So it was really powerful. The other bit, last thing I'll say about this issue, is Booster Gold goes into therapy, and he's talking to the Sanctuary, which kind of, like I said, it personifies itself as whatever desire the person needs it to be.
Like that Harry Potter room.
Yeah.
I need a laser beam to shoot at me,
Spoilers
Dumbledore.
ahead. It is a lot like that. No, for real. Like the wishing, it's definitely the same sort of concept. In the first issue, we learned that Booster Gold might have killed everyone. He might have gone crazy, killed everyone, but he doesn't remember. But in this issue, we see that when Booster Gold goes into therapy, the Sanctuary turns into another Booster Gold. So he's sitting there talking to himself back and forth. So my theory now is it's the Sanctuary that turned on everyone and thought that maybe the best way to help these people is by killing everybody.
Oh.
That's my theory. It hasn't really been established yet, but
Do you think
if
it
there's a
has
Booster Gold,
anything to do with the Dwayne McDuffie wrote Justice League Sanctuary?
no. That is a tie-in to Salvation Run miniseries.
Well, those are the
And
same words.
the Suicide Squad.
So
Salvation Run. It's not the same words.
no,
Check that
sounds
series
cool,
out.
though.
Have you ever heard of that series, Salvation Run?
I have this. If it's the Sanctuary thing, I have that part of it.
Yeah, it's I mean, you probably remember reading in that it's like all the villains are being rounded up to a prison planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sanctuary Run is entirely on the prison planet from the villains' perspectives and how they escape.
Okay.
It's a really cool series.
Yeah, that was a comic I found at a gas station.
Nice. Well, that sounds about right. This was like around the time of Countdown to Final Crisis.
Yeah, sounds right.
I mean, it's like one of those, like, barely, like, it happened. It seemed like a major deal at the time. The Suicide Squad book was tying into it, and now it's just not in continuity anymore. All right, that's my comic relief. I was going to talk about Justice League Drowned Earth, maybe another time.
Well, we can. I've not read the last two of those. I read the.
I haven't read the
issue.
last part either, so
Okay,
we'll talk about it after we've read the last parts.
Sure. I went and saw Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Gay Wizard Hitler.
Oh, nice. Grindelwald.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I can't take credit for that joke. That's Weekly Planet. But yeah, it was okay. I don't. Have you seen the first one?
Yeah.
Did you see this new one yet?
No.
It's pretty
Spoil
good.
it for me, though.
Okay.
I know the
I
Flash
think
is in it, Ezra Miller.
yeah, the Flash, the character the Flash, he's in it. No, it's much more of a like Harry Potter-ish movie than the first one was. The first one's more like a separate adventure set in the Harry Potter universe. This is more
But now
like,
we've got Dumbledore.
yeah, it's more like a Harry Potter movie or like
We've
a
got Lestrange's.
prequel that happens to have the Beasts guy in it.
Right.
It actually,
Newt Scamander.
yeah, which was sort of like bad for the plot because he and his like other side characters from the first movie don't have a lot to do. They're just there. Newt Scamander
It's
is
part 2
like
of 5.
yeah, it's gonna be a little bit, but he has the most to do. Newt does, but it's still like kind of forced. Like, oh, he's the main character. We gotta do stuff. But Johnny Depp wasn't as annoying as I thought he'd be. I was annoyed when he showed up in the last one because it's like,
That's
oh,
good
why
for
does
a
that
wife
have to be Johnny
abuser.
Depp?
Yeah,
Yeah,
glad wife abusers aren't as annoying as they could be.
oh boy.
Now she's gone on to be
Aquaman
Mira.
in theaters December 21st.
And which apparently has got really good reviews, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for
She's
Amber Heard
doing
and Mira
good.
and Aquaman and all that.
Yeah.
I hope it's a great movie.
She was also in Machete Kills. And
well,
I
her abuser was in Fantastic Beasts.
yay. Let's get off that topic. It was an okay movie. It had my timeline brain went a little nutso when McGonagall makes a cameo.
Oh, really?
And it's in the 1920s, but she should not be born yet. So
Unless
like
she's an immortal.
that's what I was is like. There's got to be some sort of like magical explanation.
She transforms into a cat.
Yeah.
Cats have 9 lives.
Oh, this
Boom.
was not considered. Yeah. No, it was still good though. It
now
was
you
just
can
kind of like
consider it.
that cameo didn't need to happen. Like it was just for fan service. But all the Harry Potter fans are probably gonna catch that even quicker than me. Like, there's probably articles about no, McGonagall shouldn't have been in the movie or something.
Spoilers, right? What I'm
sure.
about to say.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about the third brother of Dumbledore's that we never knew about before.
Yeah,
That's a thing that they say, and I read articles about that spoiled it for me.
yeah, it's Flash.
What?
Yeah,
Barry Allen?
yeah. Barry Allen,
Not Wally West.
Barry Dumbledore.
Barry Dumbledore Allen.
Yeah, they.
Wow.
You know, I've always known that was his middle name, but it all makes sense now. Yeah,
But no.
I don't know. I'd still see it. It's got some good spatial effects.
I don't think he's really Dumbledore. I think he's going to be Voldemort's dad.
I disagree. They kind of paint it like he's gonna be Voldemort in the movie, like at the start of it. They kind of like, because they keep just saying like, "Oh, the boy must not know who he really is. He must not learn of his true identity." No,
Granddad.
Stop, man! You're ruining. It's not. I don't know. Go see it. It's good. It's fine.
Well, Harry Potter has a lightning on his forehead. Barry
And
Allen
has
is
the
struck by
lightning
lightning
on his chest.
Yes.
There you go. All right. We have one lettery thing I'm going to read.
Okay.
This is from Jake Johnson. He's written in 12,000 times.
Hey, Jake Johnson.
He's good. He's a good little boy. Jacoby
Good
at
peoples.
Jacoby J56. He says, "Did you guys ever see those direct-to-DVD Marvel animated movies with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse coming out? Made me think, why doesn't Disney make animated Marvel movies? They're Disney. They're the best in the world at making animated movies. I don't think they're the best in the world."
Well, there's been animated Marvel movies, but I don't think not since.
I think he's
Disney
saying
bought them.
Disney is the best at making it. I guess I can agree. Like if you put like the actual Disney animators on a Spider-Man or X-Men movie or something, that'd be pretty cool. Like
I did just watch a bit of Teen Titans Go to the movies last night. There was that dream segment where Robin imagines himself in Disney animation,
and then there was your
Batman
dream segment because you fell asleep.
I did fall asleep, but wait, did that not happen in the movie? There was a part where Batman's holding Robin up like the Lion King.
Yeah. And he
That
drops him
happens.
off the edge.
Yeah, he drops him off the edge. Okay, I'm not making that up. I did not fall asleep during that part.
Yeah, I was in on your hallucinations. I was part of them, so I know what happened.
I will finish the movie soon. But that was a Disney-fied animated superhero.
Yeah, I
segment.
guess that's a good connected tangent there that you did.
Fine. Sorry, Jake.
So,
Jake.
I don't know. It'd be cool to see.
The Planet Hulk anime movie is supposed to be really good. You can stream that on Netflix.
I have not
don't
watched
know.
it. There's also a
Apparently
Doctor
it's a good one.
Strange animated movie on Netflix.
I have
haven't
seen
watched.
that, and I have
not.
seen an Iron Man one that they did.
Okay.
But it's not Disney. It was like before Disney bought
Yeah.
Marvel, so it was
It's
a little different.
I watched some of that Spider-Man cartoon that came out around the time of the Avengers movie. That's like pseudo set in the MCU, but before they acquired Spider-Man, so it's kind of like an alternate like take on Spider-Man being introduced in that world. But that was okay.
That's fun.
It had a lot of like Emperor's New Groove, like pausing of fourth wall breaking, like look at this guy, it's Flash Thompson or whatever.
Do you think
I
he
don't
is Deadpool?
Yeah, pretty much. Did you?
Which is another joke they did in Teen Titans Go. They were like talking to Slade. They were like, "How about you be really funny and turn to the camera for a minute?"
like talk about your balls and stuff. Yeah, like Plastic Man is kind of like DC's Deadpool.
Which in Teen Titans Go, there's the scene where Supergirl's at the red carpet, and they're like, "Who are you wearing, Supergirl?" Plastic Man.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, there's some good jokes in that movie. To be honest.
I'm just talking about the first half of Teen Titans Go. That's all
The first 5 minutes is before you fell asleep. Well,
maybe like 20 minutes in there.
I think that's the end of the show. I think we've done all that we're supposed to do.
I think so. Store plugs.
Yeah.
Plug it up. Plug it up.
Oh yeah, we should. I have been meaning to tell people to listen to the Tim Talk podcast. I don't talk about them enough. They mention us in like every other one of their episodes, so I figure we should put it out there. They've been going through the DCAU. I think they're on Batman Beyond at this point. I am several episodes behind, but I keep seeing the little thumbnails pop up, so I'm pretty sure
those are fun. They have really cool thumbnails. It's like the podcast microphone, but it's done to
little heads of the characters. I do want to ask. I know cute. It's one of them does the artwork for that. If you're listening, why do you put the little head slightly off center of the microphone? Like why do you center it in the mic? It bugs me every time. Is it on purpose?
Is it not centered?
No, it's just like 5 pixels off from.
You have always been good at noticing that.
I got the pixel vision. It's my superpower.
You should probably go to the doctor for that.
Yeah, I think so. Someday I should talk about Chairrod on this podcast, but that is not today. Do you remember Chairrod?
I remember the name. I don't remember why you want to talk about them.
He was a nuisance on the Super Buddies forum. Yeah, I'm not going to...
Yeah. Oh, I do vaguely remember.
Him.
Them.
It. All right. Thank you for listening, everybody. I think we're done for today. This podcast is out every other Monday. Even when we take our little breaky poos, we still do the podcast.
Just for you.
I thought you said sucks for you.
Well, it sucks for... Yeah, if you made it this far, it sucks for you.
It sucks for us.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You could have spent the last 2 hours. I hope you were at the gym or doing something productive. If you listen to this podcast at the gym, I'm flattered.
Yeah, I mean, I have to sit and listen to it every time that we do it, but I think this has been a pretty good episode. iTunes and YouTube.
We've had better.
iTunes and YouTube is where you can find this puppy, and it's the iTunes link is in the description of the YouTube video because you're probably watching it on YouTube. If you would like to send in a little thing for us to talk about, either a subject you'd like us to talk about as the main subject, or just a little thing to read in the Untitled Mail segment, you can @ us on various social medias at DCAU Watchtower, or you can email us at info@watchtowerdatabase.com, or you can just comment below this video. And speaking of watchtowerdatabase.com, don't forget that it's a thing now, and you can go
and you can listen
click
to our
on
podcast
everything.
there.
Yeah, you should be doing it right now.
Yeah,
Why are you
can
not?
listen to it there. You can close out of the window and still listen to it. You don't have to be stuck on YouTube
Yeah,
the whole
man.
time if that's the way you do it.
You can put your phone in your pocket, like turn the screen off, save battery. I know I need to, because doing these podcasts takes the entirety of my phone battery. It was at 97% when we started. Now it's at 4%. Thank you to Adam Mullen for all the music he does for us, all the intros and
Thank
things,
you, Adam.
Legacies, promos, etc. You can find us on social media at DCAU Watchtower, like I mentioned, and the video schedule Sunday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday until further notice. We've got upcoming videos. The next Sunday videos about all the DCAU Elseworlds to kind of line up with the CW Elseworlds crossover that's happening on. It starts on the same day. We're kind of talking about all the different times where there are other alternate realities in the DCAU,
Which is a lot more than you might think.
Yeah. Some
Not
of,
just Justice
some
Lords
of
or
them
Justice
are
Guilds.
purposeful, and others were not intended to be alternate universes, but kind of became alternate universes.
Brave New Metropoli, all over the place.
Yeah. And that's, you should subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss that. We're on patreon.com/DCAU Watchtower if you want to chuck us your coffee money. I'll open my mouth. You throw the money, I catch it in my mouth, and then Batman also throws a bunch of other money at the same time, and I'm like, oh no, where's my
You
coin?
can tuck that money in Batman's utility belt, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you for listening, and that's the end. And what's the little quippy, witty thing you got to say at the end?
I think I just said it. You could tuck that money in Batman's utility belt,
Yeah,
if you know what I
just
mean.
stop.
Okay.